It may look like a prison, but those running it insist it's not. People here are locked up for months, sometimes years at a time, but most have not been convicted of any crime. This is one of more than a dozen facilities across Australia. 4,000 people are held under a policy of mandatory detention for asylum seekers who arrive by boat. It's sensitive. We were allowed here only on condition Australia's government could view and approve our footage. These places are hugely controversial. Australia is the only first world country to detain indefinitely all those asylum seekers who arrive by boat, including, most controversially of all, children. This boy was 15 when he fled Afghanistan alone. He travelled to Indonesia and then on to Australia's Christmas Island by boat. He spent a year in detention before he was given residency as a refugee. He's asked us to hide his face so friends don't find out his background.
As a child, I've experienced many horrible things. Like I saw my friends harming themselves, trying to suicide. One of my close friends tried to suicide.
In detention?
In detention center. So it really affects mentally and physically.
Even now, out of detention, he says he still finds it hard to concentrate in school and still has nightmares.
Detention has a very negative impact on anyone's mental health, but it's clearly much worse for children, and children many years after detention can still experience physical and psychological effects.
I believe that children do not belong in detention centres.
To mark 20 years of mandatory detention in Australia, a campaign's been launched. Australian children have recorded videos to show support for those behind bars.
I would say to these people in detention that I hope they get out soon.
As more and more asylum seekers are intercepted at sea, Australia's government says detention is needed to supervise them while stories are checked out and health and security checks done. Children are prioritised, they say. Most are moved quickly into the community. But any detention is wrong, say campaigners. 20 years of it as policy, they argue, is 20 years too long. Andrew Thomas, Al Jazeera, Melbourne.